ArcGIS Online. We'll show you how to find the area that you're going to map, how to change the base maps, how to add a layer, change various aspects of the property, how to label your map, and then how to share it. In the end, you'll have a map that you can then add to your Capstone Storymap. So to start, log in. You'll be at this main home screen, then go to Map, the upper left. This will open an untitled map showing a map of the world with the standard geographic base map. So the first thing you'll do is zoom into the area of your place or object. In this case, I will zoom in on Harvard as an example. So here we are, Harvard Square. There's the yard. Okay, now you have a range of base maps to choose from. This is the default base map. If you go to the left and go down to the base map icon, you'll see that you have a range of choices. You might choose to show imagery. You can focus on streets. You might want to do a very basic light canvas. That's especially useful if you're going to be putting something on top of it and you don't want it to be distracting. And then there's some fun options like kind of a newspaper style map, or kind of like an antique style. I'm going to go back to the standard topographic for our purposes here. Okay, now at this point, this might be enough. So you can save your map at this point. If you go to the left, you'll see that Save and Open is one of the options on the left. Choose that and then choose Save As. Give your map a title. I'll call this map of Harvard Old Cambridge. You can give it tags and a summary if you like. The important thing is to click Save Map. Now at this point you have a map that you could then embed in your Capstone Storymap. But you can also do a bunch of other things. Like for example, you might want to add layers. Now here I'll show you how to find a layer that's already been created. In a separate video I'll show you how to make your own layer. So suppose you want to see what's out there. You'd love to show the buildings of Harvard in more detail. Let's see what we can find. If you go to the upper left, you'll see that Add a Layer is an option. We're going to choose Browse Layers. Now by default, it just looks to my content. That's content created by you, the user. But if you click the drop down, you'll see that you can go down and search. These are increasingly large areas going down to the entire contents of ArcGIS Online. So I'm going to choose that. And then I will search for Harvard building. Okay, you'll see a bunch of layers come up. You can scroll down and look through them. This first layer, called Building Harvard, has been published by the Harvard Planning Office, so this is going to be pretty authoritative. Let's add this one. There's a little plus sign. You'll click on that, and you'll see now these polygons have appeared. At the same time, a properties window opens up on the right, and here you can do things like you can change the layer style. I'll hit Edit Layer Style, and I'm going to pick a style here. Go to Style Options. I might want to give the fill. Maybe it has a nice yellow fill. Maybe I'd like the outline of the polygons to be orange. I could make the outline thicker or thinner. I could change the transparency of the fill, for example. Now it's 50% transparent. Whatever best suits the purposes of your map. So I will click Done. Now if you zoom in, if you click on any one of these features, you'll see that there are attributes, there are properties to it. For example, clicking on Widener Library, there's a field that's called Primary Building Name, and that gives the name of the building. It might be interesting to have those as labels, so let's do that. I'll close this window. And now on the right side, you'll see there's an icon. If you mouse over it, it says labels. Click on that. Labels are enabled. I'll add a label class. And I want the label field to be this primary building names. You'll see that pops up. You can change the label style. You can make the font bigger or smaller. You can make it italics. You also might decide that at certain scales of your map, the labels are not too helpful. In fact, they're distracting. So you can change the visible range of the labels. For example, I can make it so that it only labels at a smaller scale by sliding it to the right, and you'll see I have to zoom in a bit before those labels start to appear. Okay, one other thing you can do is you share this map. Now right now, you've made your map and you're the only person that can see it. It's not shared. If you go to the left side, you'll see that share map is an option. It brings up this window. Right now it's only shared to you, the owner. You can share it to everybody who's at Harvard. You could share it to everybody who has an ArcGIS Online account. That's, well, actually this is everybody, this is world accessible. Anybody who has web access can see it. Or you can just share your map to a particular group. For example, if you just want to share it with the class, click Edit Group Sharing, and you should see GenEd 1105, Can We Know Our Past? You can highlight that and click OK. Now your map is just shared with the class. So if you want to share it with your mom, check Everyone. If you want to share it just with the class, go into Group Sharing. So I'll click Save. And there you have it. You have a map that's now ready to be added to, embedded in your story map.